In MySQL, we have a variety of data types, but the ones that are used the most in most projects are numeric data types, string data types, and date and time data types. In this video, we'll be talking about these specific groups of data types. In case of numeric data types, we have int that stands for integer, we have decimal, and also we have float and double. What's the difference? When you use int for a column, MySQL is expecting only correct numbers like 1, 2, 3 to be inserted without any decimal point. But when you want to use a number that has a decimal point to it, you can use either decimal or float and double. Now, when you use a decimal data type, you need to specify the exact amount of numbers that comes after and also before the decimal point. For example, when you use a decimal inside parentheses, you specify 8 comma 2, it means that you are allowed to use a decimal number that has 8 numbers, 8 correct numbers before the decimal point and only 2 numbers after the decimal point. If you want more freedom and be able to use any type of decimal numbers, you can use float or double that has no limitation in the amount of numbers that you can put before and after decimal. String data types. This group has 3 types: char that stands for character, varchar that stands for variable character, and text. Let's see what's the difference between them. Char is used when you're sure about the exact number of characters that are supposed to be inserted in a certain column. Let's say that you have a column and you have assigned a char 10 data type to that column. In this case, MySQL is expecting a record that has exactly 10 characters length. If you're trying to insert a record with more than 10 characters, MySQL will generate an error, of course, because you have limited that column to only 10 characters. But if you're trying to insert a record with less characters, for example 5 will be left blank, and those blank space will be filled by MySQL that actually takes place on your physical memory. So you will have some physical memory used for blank spaces, and it's not logical to use, in case of economizing your hardware resources, to use char for records that you're not sure about the exact length of them. If you want to be able to use any type of length for a specific column and you're sure about the limit, for example, let's say you have a column, you know that it will be variable. Sometimes it can be 5 characters, sometimes it can be 8, 3, 7, 9, but it won't reach the limit of 10. You can use a varchar for this time. When you use a varchar 10, for example, MySQL has a limit of 10 characters, but if you're trying to insert a record with less than 10 characters, the blank space won't take place, won't be filled with anything on your physical memory, and it's much more logical in case of economizing the hardware resources. So varchar is one of the most used data types in MySQL because of this flexibility. In this group of string data types, text has the most flexibility in case of length. So when you assign a text data type to a column, that column can take unlimited number of characters. The difference between them, between text and char and varchar, is that you cannot limit the text data type to a specific number of characters, but in case of length, it is unlimited. The last group of data type that we will be talking about in this video is date and time. When you have a column and you want to insert a date format into it that has years, month, and days, you can use the date data type. Time is used when you want to use a specific time of the day that takes hours, minutes, and seconds. But if you want to be able to insert all of them together from year to seconds, you can use datetime and timestamp. Datetime and timestamp take years, months, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. These are three groups that we will be using, and in the next videos we will be using them in our columns and tables in action, and you will see how it goes when we're working with these type of data and data types in real life projects. So that's it for the most common data types in MySQL, and until the next one, I bid you farewell.